look.
It's Game of Thrones season.
House
of Dragon. House of the Dragon.
Really gets on my nerves. You keep saying House of Dragon.
It's
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, but is it Game of Thrones or is it the Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's why I call it House of Dragon, because
the book is actually called A Game of Thrones.
A Game of Thrones, but it just sounds better.
House of Dragon.
House of Dragon, Game of Thrones.
No.
House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon. The dragon is the sigil, the power of House Targaryen. You've seen the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say so? I was eating at the same time. I was looking down at my food, and I heard something that made me go, "What?" And it was the Winterfell theme at the beginning.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
I stopped eating. I was like,
straight away.
Oh my god.
The one thing that I thought it did really well, it takes you back and captures that place again, like the world of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That was one of my critiques about the first season.
Yeah.
That it was obviously it's called the House of the Dragon, but it didn't really explore other regions of the realm.
Yeah, but
so
they had to. They have to start together, and then they split up for this season.
Which is fine. And I like that. I like that.
My issue with the first season is it could have been two, because of I think the aging
was too fast,
and it happened with some characters. Like the kids would age up, the older actors wouldn't. Then the older actors do age up, and it was a bit disjointed. And I don't know why I'm worrying about this, because I find it easy to keep up with the characters. But for some reason in my head, I'm like, I have a problem with it, because I think the
other people will.
An audience that isn't necessarily engrossed in the lore or the books might not know who the characters are.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I watch it with someone who doesn't, who keeps asking who the characters are.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's a problem as well.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it's been so long since season 1 because of the actors' strike.
How long has it been? Like 4 years?
Nah, it can't be that long.
3 years.
How long? Go on.
So 2022. So
2 years then.
Not even 2 years.
2 years, but in TV though, in TV terms.
But I like that. Yeah. The one thing that I'm hating, the one thing that the news that I found today regarding Game of Thrones is they've started filming the new spin-off.
And Knight of the Seven Realms, or the Seven Kingdoms.
Knight of the Seven Kingdoms,
which is based on another one of his books. This is my problem.
We're
going to get sick. We're going to get so. We're going to oversaturation.
It's just Star Wars all over again.
Now I chose for the first time in my life, Sean, to not watch the new Star Wars show. It's just out recently. It's not even finished yet. It's called The Acolyte.
Yeah, it's like my third or fourth time I've chosen not to watch a Star Wars show.
I loved Andor. I liked Ahsoka. I thought it was all right.
Ahsoka was good.
Boba Fett, yeah.
I didn't watch Boba Fett. I didn't watch the third season of Mandalorian.
I haven't actually watched the third season of Mandalorian, but it's the problem, isn't it? Oversaturation.
Too much.
Oversaturation.
I don't care anymore.
No.
And someone put it perfectly online. They said that the reason why Star Wars was so special is because we had 3 films, and we had 3 films for like how many decades? A couple of decades.
Star Wars was our childhood as well, because we were born in 95, right?
Yeah.
The Phantom Menace came out in 99.
Yeah.
3 years later, Attack of the Clones came out.
Yeah.
3 years later, Revenge of the Sith, and it kind of, and in between that, you got like the Lord of the Rings, you got the Harry Potter films. So you grow up, and there's quite a bit of time apart from the Harry Potter ones and Lord of the Rings, because they were consecutive years, weren't they? I think, but you grow up with them, and then there's something special about them. And I'll always think the 6 Star Wars films are great. I don't care what anyone says.
But this is the thing. Like, the reason why Star Wars is so special is because we had less of it. So we focused on those 3 or 6 movies. That was all of our Star Wars content. So we held it precious. We held it close to our chest because that's all we had.
Yeah.
Now, since Disney, and that's why, after Disney took over and the Force Awakens trailer came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Because it had been so long, and we're finally getting new Star Wars content. And then when they release this show The Acolyte, which is about Siths back in the day, that should be like, oh my god, I can't wait for that. That's amazing. No one cares because
it's because of oversaturation. And the one thing as well I'd say about the Game of Thrones spin-off that they've got a problem with Star Wars is you're having audiences that are starting to trying to think, well, where is this in order of Game of Thrones? They'll think, is this after? People will think it's after Jon Snow, or Jon Snow's still around, or so it makes a bit of a problem, doesn't it? I know the fans will still probably enjoy it, and House of the Dragon, episode 1 of season 2, I had a great time watching it.
There's a weird way of putting it since how it ended.
Oh yeah, it's thrilling. Well, I've actually read the book as well, the Fire and Blood.
Yeah, don't say anything about the spoilers or anything like that. It's a little bit
different, but
I hate the fact that you've done that.
Why?
Because you just know. It's like I understand why you've read the book and that you enjoy reading the book, but for someone that loves film and TV so much, I feel like I'll just ruin it for myself.
I did. I read this book the other day called Dissolution, which was a historical thing, a historical fiction, and they just brought a show out on Disney Plus called Shard Lake, which is that. It's like Sean Bean's in it, and it's nowhere near as good as the book.
Yeah,
but it does kind of throw it for you.
But knowing what's going to come, it's like someone. It's like sitting next to someone in a film, and then we're like, "This is going to happen now," and then it happens.
But that's great though, because I was waiting for that end of the episode because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But you didn't know what was going to happen. So when it did happen, were you like, "Oh my god, this is just going to kick off now"?
So
like, kick off the war.
So I thought the war had already kicked off, and then that happened.
A Son for a Son, the episode was called.
Yeah, and we'll get into spoilers. So click off now if you don't want to. But the two, what would you call them? Mercenaries?
They were hired, weren't they?
Yeah, hired.
They're called Blood and Cheese in the book.
Blood and Cheese. That's a good nicknames. But yeah, they kill one of the sons or daughters. We don't.
It's the son.
It's the son. Yeah, at the end.
They killed the son of
the king.
The king, yeah.
Which ain't gonna go down well with him.
We haven't even seen his reaction yet,
nope.
Or the mother.
But it's interesting because he, throughout the episode and throughout the series so far, actually, he's kind of teetering on the edge of insanity, recklessness and empathy.
Yeah, he's not as bad as, he's nowhere near as bad as Joffrey, obviously, isn't he?
No.
But he's also immature and infantile. He gets drunk. We've been seeing that. Doesn't care about his wife, who's also his sister.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, which is really weird. By the way, I saw that because the person who plays his mother, Alison's the character. I think that the age difference between them is like really small.
Really?
Yeah, because of the age. I don't know, but yeah, I think he didn't have much to do in season 1, did he? But I think he's going to be a good character.
Yeah, I think so. But the fact that she had to choose and point at one child, that was messed up. And then you could hear
the stabbing.
No, it was the cutting of the head.
Oh,
they were cutting off the head. They were sawing. That's what I thought it was.
It's grim.
That's grim.
But, it was brutal. It's down there as one of the most brutal things, even though they didn't show
see
it on the screen.
But that's what makes it worse.
People were complaining about that, and I'm like, what? You want to see that on the blooming TV screen? But I liked it because when they were around the kind of council chamber, the council table, Otto Hightower, who's his grandfather, the king's grandfather, the Hand of the King, was arguing they need to be more reserved and not go full.
And he was just like, I want to get my dragon.
Now they're going to hate him, aren't they?
Yeah, true.
The dragons are cool. Oh, it's through the throwback to how Rhaenyra's son was chomped to bits by the big dragon.
Yeah. When she was on the beach.
On the beach and saw the kind of the broken wings of the dragon.
Yeah.
Was good. But the worst, what made it worse for me was that Helena's the queen, isn't she?
Yeah.
Not that she's had a kid die, but when she was like all like shocked and didn't know what to do and went into her mum's chamber. She was there,
emotionless almost.
She was there getting it on with that Kristen Cole or whatever.
Yeah.
That was.
It's I love it because it's focusing a lot on the drama of
the interconnection.
That's how
of
we
the family. That's how everybody's so like interconnected.
That's how we describe season 1. It was basically a family drama. Because of the king, he was trying to get everyone to play along with one another. It's basically a family drama, but just set in the Game of Thrones world. I just hope we don't get tired of it. I hope it's just not oversaturated.
Well, they made a deliberate choice to cut it down to 8 episodes, and I know people complained about the last season of Game of Thrones for that reason.
Yeah,
but I think they've probably chosen it to keep the pace.
Well, there's not as much
time.
content.
Yeah,
because this is based on one single book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a history book as well.
Yeah, it's not a narrative, is it?